Yeah, hello and welcome to everyone. My name is Harry Aujla, and I'm the EMEA Pre-Sales Director here at SIOS Technology. I want to spend a few moments just showcasing some of our customers' experiences with SIOS and our solutions. Although we're extremely proud of the technologies we offer our customers today, what I always like to say to myself is, and the phrase I always like to use is, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And as you might expect, we've got numerous customer success stories, some of which I want to sort of go through with you today. So before I dive in, let me just tell you a bit more about myself. So as I mentioned, I'm Harry. I lead many of our pre-sales engagements in the EMEA region. So I'm based out of not so sunny London at the moment. I've been with SIOS for just over 7 years now as either a technical account manager or a pre-sales consultant. I've been working in the high availability and disaster recovery sector for more than 20 years now, which sounds like an awfully long time when I say that out loud. And my background is focused on helping customers achieve those sort of strict high availability SLAs for the critical parts of their IT infrastructure. So just to set the scene, due to the agnostic nature of our solution set, when it comes to protecting operating systems, applications, and databases, SIOS can supply solutions to a wide variety of industry verticals. Regardless of the vertical, SIOS can help customers wherever there's a high availability need. So as you'll see from some of the following examples in a moment, we have a range of customers who have various backgrounds in terms of their businesses and also in how they've deployed their various IT infrastructures, whether it's on premises, whether it's on physical servers or virtual servers, or whether it's in the cloud. So our first example is from the manufacturing sector, and it's an organization who are a leading global supplier of premium polymers. They're one of those types of companies, they produce various products and solutions that kind of filter their way down into sort of nearly every area of modern life. Yeah, at the moment, they have a key focus around the automotive and electrical engineering sectors. The organization is, although it's global in nature, they're headquartered out of Germany, and they have about 17,000 people working for them worldwide. Now, as a global player, they run a wide network of production sites around the world, and each site is associated with its own IT landscape as well. In addition to that, there's sort of several technical centers and innovation hubs around the world, and the purpose of these hubs is to help them to be as close as to their customers as possible. Now, SIOS were engaged with this customer in terms of their IT operations in Germany. And what this customer was previously doing was running their IT operations within a group of data centers dotted around the country. The infrastructure at the time was based on a mix of physical and virtual servers. But as the business met new growth, they found that this current infrastructure was not sort of cutting the mustard, shall we say, and things started getting expensive and difficult to run. So they made the decision to shut down their data centers and move their entire IT operations into the cloud. Now, the obstacle they came across when they started moving their applications into the cloud was largely around their SAP landscape. Although moving to the cloud can present a wide range of technical and economic benefits, there's some areas where public cloud platforms are still somewhat lacking, specifically with regards to meeting high availability SLAs for mission critical apps like SAP. So the customer realized the cloud provider wasn't able to deliver the SLAs that they were looking for. And especially when they were trying to compare the SLAs they used to get when they were running on premise. And in addition to this, the environment they were running was very much of a heterogeneous nature. They had a bit of SUSE Linux running in some parts, a bit of Oracle Linux. And from a database perspective, there was a bit of SAP HANA, some Oracle database, and even some Sybase as well. So it was a real mixed bag of technologies that were underpinning this SAP landscape. And then lastly, seeing that SAP is such a core part of their operations. If you think about it, it's one of those applications that touches all parts of the company, things like finance, supply chain, inventory, HR, reporting, and so on. It was vital for them to adopt a high availability technology that was also going to be certified by SAP themselves. So to deliver that full HA and failover protection for the SAP landscape, the customer decided to deploy a range of Linux-based clusters using our Lifekeeper for Linux solution. This was all deployed into AWS, and the clusters were deployed in a way where they were spread across multiple availability zones to help avoid any single points of failure. What this gave them was a level of continuous availability on all of the major SAP components and associated operating systems and databases. It also gave them a single solution to manage their entire high availability for SAP. And very importantly, SIOS provided them with that 99.99% high availability SLA for SAP that they were originally looking for. Now, our next example comes from the healthcare sector. As dramatic as it might sound, application and storage downtime in this sector can literally mean a matter of life and death. In most sectors, downtime can result in loss of revenue or damage to reputation or brand image, which is serious enough as on its own. But in the healthcare sector, application and downtime, storage downtime, can have a direct and detrimental impact on the services to the patient. So here we have Chris O'Brien Lifehouse Hospital. They are a specialized state-of-the-art hospital managing complex cancer cases. They run an application called Meditech, which runs on a Windows Server failover cluster and an underlying SQL server. They were originally running this on premises with a SAN, but wanted to lift and shift this into AWS. They originally started working in the cloud and you leveraged some of the cloud volume services that were available from AWS, but quickly realized this wasn't going to work because they weren't getting the performance throughput they needed to support this critical Meditech application. So they decided to switch to Datakeeper Cluster Edition. They set up a Windows Server failover cluster using our technology as the underlying replication technology. And that also gave them the performance throughput that they needed for this mission critical application. And very importantly, and quite surprisingly, they were also pleasantly surprised about how easy it was to manage the solution and to deploy the solution as well.